So we are live now. You may start the proceedings. So I hand over the proceedings to Mr. Kailasam, the chairman of the company.
Thank you. Good morning, shareholders. I'm Kailasam, chairman of the board of Deccan Gold Mines Limited. Today is Wednesday, September 28, 2022. The time is 11:03 a.m. At the outset, I welcome all of you to the 38th annual general meeting of Deccan Gold Mines Limited. This meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the circular issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I introduce my colleagues on the dais, Mr. Hanuma Prasad, the Managing Director, Peshwa, Mr. Subbu, the ED and the Company Secretary, and Mr. Karun, the CFO of the company. I also welcome the other directors, Govind Samant, Andrew Mark Weeks, and Deepthi, who are directors and who joined the meeting remotely. Mr. Vinay Pandey has been unable to join the meeting due to his preoccupations and has sent his apologies. I confirm that the statutory auditors and the secretarial auditor are present for the meeting through video conferencing, and I welcome them to the meeting. We have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. I now request Subramaniam, the Company Secretary, to provide general instruction to the members regarding participation in this meeting. Over to Subbu.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Members may note that this AGM is being held through video conference in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through video conference or other audio-visual means is made available for the members on a first-come, first-served basis. The register of directors and other statutory registers have been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by members is not applicable, and hence the proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from a few members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for those members to ask questions or express their views at the appropriate time. The moderator will facilitate this session once the floor is open for questions. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending on the availability of time at the AGM. The company has provided the facility to cast votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their votes yet electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through the e-voting system provided by Link in Time. Members are requested to refer to the instructions provided in the notice or appearing on the video conference page for seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers of Link in Time. Thank you very much. Over to the chairman.
Thank you, Subramaniam. The company has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable members to participate through video conference and vote at the AGM. I thank all the members, colleagues on the board, auditors, and the management team for joining this meeting over video conference. I hope all of you are safe and are in good health. I now request our company secretary to provide a summary of the auditor's report.
Yes, sir. The statutory auditors and the secretarial auditor have expressed unqualified opinion on the respective audit reports for the financial year 2021-2022. There are no qualifications, observations, or adverse comments on financial statements and matters which have any material bearing on the functioning of the company. The statutory auditors report on standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements are available on page numbers 47 to 55 and from pages 79 to 83 of the annual report respectively. Further, the secretarial auditor's report is enclosed as Annexure 5 to the board's report and is available from page numbers 20 to 22 of the annual report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Subramaniam. As the notice is already circulated to all the members, with the consent of members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. We now come to formal proceedings of the meeting. The board of directors have appointed Mr. Himamshu Kamdar, Rathi Associates, practicing company secretaries of Mumbai, as the scrutinizer for the e-voting process. Further, I hereby authorize the company secretary to declare the results of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions, as set forth in the notice, shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of the requisite number of votes. Further, the combined results of remote e-voting and electronic voting at the venue, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be communicated to Bombay Stock Exchange. The results shall also be placed on the websites of the company and linked in time. The results of the poll shall be displayed at least 3 days on the notice board of the company at its registered office and will be placed on the company's website. Also, the scrutinizer's report will be placed on the website of the company, namely www.deccangoldmines.com, and on service provider's website www.linkintime.co.in within 48 hours from the conclusion of the AGM. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice. Remember that we are not taking hand vote here, so I will just read out the resolutions. Item number 1, adoption of accounts, both standalone and consolidated financials for the financial year ended 31st March 2022, together with the board's report and auditor's report thereon. Item number 2 of the notice, reappointment of Mr. Hanuma Prasad Mudhali, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. Item number 3, reappointment of statutory auditors. Item number 4, appointment of Mr. Andrew Mark Mix as an independent director. Item number 5, appointment of Mrs. Deepthi Dongeshwar as an independent director. Item number 6, replacement of class 3B objects incidental or ancillary to the attainment of main objects and deletion of class 3 other objects clause in the memorandum of association of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement has been provided in the notice circulated to the members. All items of today's AGM have now been transacted. Thank you for attending the meeting. Now I request Mr. Hanuma Prasad, Managing Director, to make his presentation to the shareholders. Over to Hanuma Prasad.
Good morning to the shareholders, and it's again a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for making time to attend the annual general meeting. At the outset, I would like to say that it's 1 year since I have taken over the charge as managing director of this company, and I would like to really place the report card of our performance to you and take your suggestions and inputs going forward from here. And again, I would like to thank some of the shareholders who are always willing and coming forward to give their views. And in 1 year journey as a managing director, I have learned a lot talking to some of the key shareholders of the company and taking their inputs. So once again, a big thanks to all of you for that. So now coming to the operations and what we have done in the last 1 year. The way I structured the presentation is that I would like to say what we aim to do, at least what I had presented last year that I'm going to do in the 2022, how much we have achieved and how much we have not achieved, and what are our plans for the next year. And also I would like to share my vision in the 2023, how the company is going to be. So first one, please. So if you not able to see him. So if I summarize what has happened, how Deccan Gold Mines and the last year's performance, I can say it has a mixed results. DGML has mixed results during the last 1 year. While we're still to achieve some of the key targets, I think one of the key ones is the merger of Geomysore, at least acquiring the significant stake in Geomysore. That's what we plan to do in the year 2022. I think there is a bit of a disappointment. We haven't concluded that. So that is something which has not been done. But on the other areas like the obtaining the overseas exploration contracts, which is again one of our key areas of focus during 2022, I'm happy to say that we have got a couple of consultancy contracts that's in Libya and Kyrgyzstan. As I speak, our teams are working there, and we have started earning revenues, though they are baby steps, but still they are firm steps going forward into the future. The other one is, last time we also spoke about getting some more assets which are close to the production, not the greenfield projects, but the assets which are close to the production so that they can get into a revenue stream. So there is a significant amount of progress on those, on that aspect as well. And the other thing that we have added is in this year, we are participating in auction to acquire potential assets in India. Towards that end, we have lodged our bid documents to one of the projects in India. So how I see is in the next 12 months, the Deccan Gold Mines would be doing multiple things, and we would have in next year, probably 2023 would define kind of stability to the company and the sustainable growth for the Deccan Gold Mines in the 2023. That's how I see. Next one. So next one, please. If I start off with the key aspect, I know many of the shareholders, they keep calling and they keep asking about this particular aspect, that is acquiring significant stake in Geo-Mysore. That is something last year we have promised, and we started off the process as well. You all know that Geo-Mysore has a granted mining lease. In fact, that is the only big granted mining lease for gold in this country, particularly when Deccan could not get through their mining lease, that is Ganazur. We thought that acquiring a significant stake in Geo-Mysore, thereby in the Jonnagiri project, would give stability to the company. Towards that end, I think you all remember that we filed a scheme of arrangement with BSE in October 2021. And the idea is once BSE approves, along with the SEBI and RBI, we go to the NCLT for their sanction. So once we launched the scheme with the BSE in October 2021, there are multiple queries that were raised by BSE. That includes some of the queries in November 2021, asking for additional information, which we submitted in December 2021. Subsequently, BSE continued to raise several queries on this particular scheme, and we went on clarifying that. But unfortunately, the process has taken a lot of time. We have not anticipated that it is going to take this much time. I think it's really unfortunate that we could not conclude the way we wanted to do in 2022. So in the meantime, what has happened is in Geo-Mysore and the Jonnagiri project, it has progressed. I would like to show what has been done in the last 1 year in Jonnagiri project. So as it has progressed, there is a change in the capital structure of the company. So hence, the current scheme, which was based on the capital structure of 2021 of the Geo-Mysore, becomes more or less irrelevant at this point of time. Hence, we had to withdraw the scheme, which we have done yesterday. However, having said that, we have withdrawn the scheme, but we have an alternate plan to get the same amount of stake, which we have planned to do in the 2021. And we are exploring the options, in fact, to fast track this acquisition process. And there are few options, e.g. the preferential allotment, which I was told is the through share swap, which could be subject to, of course, the approval of the board and shareholders. I was told that this is one of the fast track options, which we are going to pursue. And I assure you once again, though it looks like we could not complete the process through the NCLT, BSE and NCLT, but this process is going to work, and we are working towards securing the best interest of our shareholders. And I am very hopeful that very soon we are going to come up with an alternate proposal to acquire the significant stake in the Jonnagiri project. Once again, I reiterate that we are on the track, and very soon you will listen to, or will come to the market with a clear program to acquire this particular stake. I do understand that it is not very pleasant news for many of the shareholders because they were hoping that this would be completed and Deccan will have a stake in the operating gold mine. But once again, it's a delay which we did not anticipate, but we have an alternate mechanism to do it now. So if I go into the progress of the Jonagiri project, you all know that Jonagiri project has about 12 tons of Zork resource, which is distributed in 2 blocks, and there is a potential to increase the resource base to almost 1 million ounces. The plan is to produce about 750 kilos of gold per annum. So initially, in first 10 years, about 200,000 ounces of gold will be extracted from an open pit mine. So in the last few months, there is a significant progress, particularly in terms of land acquisition. The key area within the pit has been acquired, and once the land acquisition is completed, which the Geo-Mysore is going to complete by end of November or in the middle of December, they are ready for the construction of the processing plant and other infrastructure. And down the line, in 12 months from then, they will commission the processing plant and start producing the gold. As I said, key land is already purchased. So by November, December at least, they would get into the construction and the commissioning of the plant. And in the meantime, last time also I have shown that Geo-Mysore has set up a small processing plant through a gravity process. They have been producing gold concentrates and recovering the gold. If you can see on the right hand side, I have kept a couple of pictures. They are the first gold that is taken out of Jonagiri project. It is produced out of the Jonagiri project. And you can see the 24 carats gold coin that has been done through gravity leaching process, which has been actually at this point of time, it is done through the third party, whereas the concentrates are produced on the site and taken to the leaching system outside somewhere and got it done. So the good point is whatever the recovery we were anticipating, based on the test results, the actual recovery was at least 5% more than what we have thought. So that's a good news, and which obviously will have a clear impact on the revenue of the project. The total capital required for the project from now on, which is about 230 crores, out of which 60 crores will be equity, and the existing shareholders, particularly Triveni Earth Movers, who are the majority shareholders of Geo-Mysore, they have been putting the money into the project. So it has not, there is no impact on the development of the project. It is going on as per the schedule. Yes, last time I said third quarter of 2023 is likely scenario of producing the gold, but I am sure that by fourth quarter of 2023, there is a bit of a delay, obviously. So by fourth quarter of 2023, the full scale commercial production will happen in this project. And obviously, Deccan will have a significant stake in this. And the way we are actually contemplating the structure now, there is a possibility that Deccan will become a direct shareholder in Geo-Mysore, which we will come very soon to the market and the board with a clear structure and the mechanism. Next one, please. So the other important aspect that we have done in the last few months, rather, if you remember previously I was talking about getting the assets. That is one of the plans that Deccan always has, getting the assets in various other jurisdictions, and particularly close to the production kind of assets, not the greenfield assets. So towards that end, we have been scouting for small to medium scale, close to operational mines. That means where the mining leases have been granted, where the resources have been proved, and the pre-feasibility or the feasibility has been completed. So towards that end, we have finalized a couple of assets, which the due diligence has been done over the last 6 months period, and site due diligence, in fact, on this project has been done by me. I went to Tanzania last month and had a look at the project. This is one of the projects in Tanzania, which DGML is actively looking at acquiring a significant stake. Significant, I mean here, about 51% of that is the controlling stake in this project. The project is owned by a company called Lake Victoria Gold. It is an Australian company which owns 2 advanced stage gold projects in Tanzania. That's called Imbelu and Imveru projects. They are located in geologically potential Lake Victoria region. Actually, I will show you in one of the maps These projects are located about 100 kilometers west of the licenses that Deccan has. They already has, I think you remember that Deccan has some of the early exploration stage licenses in Tanzania. These projects are about 100 kilometers west of it. The pre-feasibility study has been completed in Imvelu project, and about 85,000 ounces, that's about 3 tons of open pittable resource. The potential for another 100,000 ounces underground resource has been established there, and all permits are in place to commence open pit mining and process plant construction. And if funding is available within the next 12 months, they can start the production, and their annual production would be around 20,000 ounces. That is the plan they have. And the total capital required for this project is 12 million USD. That is to construct the processing plant and other infrastructure. The Imveru project, which is adjoining to the Imvelu project, has about 400,000 ounces of Zork indicated and inferred category resource. That means about 12 tons of resource in that project. So put together, there is a close to 600, 700,000 ounces of gold is present in that project. Again, the mining applications on Imveru project, they are pending. But DGML, as I said, completed the technical due diligence. We had discussion with the owners of this project. Site due diligence has been completed, as I said, and 51% equity through a combination of share swap and cash infusion is something which we are negotiating with them. And I would expect with some more due diligence and final negotiations by September end or mid-October, we'll have a clarity on how we are moving ahead with this project. Yes, there's a $12 million of capital is required, but at the same time, it's a mine which is going into the production, and Deccan should look at these kind of opportunities. So I think in a month's time, we'll have a clarity on this. Next one, please. So these are the some of the images from that project area. You can see the map there. The red color box, that's where the project is. And if you can see our licenses are just east of this. They're all close to the Gaita mine, which is one of the biggest mines in Tanzania. And other 3 images, the right side one, it shows the artisanal workings that the people have extracted gold from the surface soil. So that's the area where we are going to work. And in the lower side, you can see the drill core that they have completed a lot of drilling there. All the core was kept and displayed to us. We are happy with the way that it has been done. And in the last picture, you can see in the right hand lower side, the corner is the open pit area. In fact, the company has acquired about 300 acres of land and started clearing the bushes and developing the open pit area. Tailing dam, return water dam, and all the infrastructural areas have been developed. So they are really very close to the production, and I feel this is a good opportunity for Deccan to look into this. Next one, please. Similarly, we are also in negotiation with a company called Kelawala Gold Project. It is owned by a company called Mineral Exploration Network in Finland. I mean, this project is it's not close to the mining project. I cannot say it's a mining project as on today, but it has a resource which has been proved, and mining lease applications are done, and they're waiting for the grant of the mining lease applications. It's again in Finland, which is a very safe mining jurisdiction. Now, I think you all know that Finland is in the top 10 best mining jurisdictions in the world. Now, that is something which has attracted to us. Apart from the overall geology, the geology of the area is similar to the geology of our Dharwar Craton in India, and hence we started looking at this project. This project is called, it's owned by a company called Kelawala Gold Oil, and it is in the area known as the Siriala Goldfields, which is in the northern part of Finland. Drilling has been done by Finland Geological Survey and also the Kelawala Gold Company. They have done drilling, and there is a resource of about 150,000 ounces and a potential open pittable resource of about 80,000 ounces, which is close to about 3 tons. And it is actually very high grade quartz veins, and they have already taken out some of the ore. Bulk sampling has been done, and it is toll treated in a processing facility which is nearby, and they have produced about half kilo of gold doré bar. This is again with a little bit more work, that is completion of feasibility. Once we obtain the mining lease, this project is ready to go to small scale mining operations and production of the gold. And the beauty of this project is close to that there is a processing plant. So you don't have to build the large infrastructure required to recover the gold. So that is another good thing here. I think we have completed the negotiations. For commercial negotiations, we have almost completed. And again, I'm going to the board and to the shareholders very soon on this. The funding required for this project before going into the mining stage is about $3 million, which is required for additional drilling and feasibility study. Again, DGML is negotiating to acquire 51% of this project. So our objective here is, apart from the stake in Jonagiri, which is going into the production next year, Deccan should also have controlling stake in advanced projects. That's the idea with which we have started looking at these projects. Yes, we need funding for this, but if the projects are good, I think we'll be able to get to the funding and really become a producer with a multiple projects under its wing, which will kind of buffer in the multi-jurisdictional scenario and multi-projects, the risk of the company would significantly reduce. That is the idea behind looking at these two. I think we are very close to take it into, concluding either one of them or even two to get into the Deccan very soon. Next one, please. So these are the images of the project. You can see the mine, the Kuika project. You can see the quartz vein in that ellipsoidal envelope that I have shown. That is the quartz vein which carries very high grade gold mineralization. And below that, you can see the quartz vein itself. And on the right hand side, if you see the drill results, they are significantly high. It's on 1 meter, 2 meter. The grades are like 12 grams, 15 grams. It's a very high grade gold mineralization. I think we should target this and acquire and take it forward. And as I again reiterate that this is one of the best jurisdictions. Yes, climatically it's a bit cold, but that's how it is in this business. So we should target this as well. So next one, please. So these are the two advanced projects we are looking at. And apart from that, we have also started working on Tanzanian licenses. As you know, Deccan Gold Mines, through its subsidiary, in fact, Peshwa is the one who has initiated this whole licensing, obtaining the licenses in Tanzania. And as on today, Deccan holds licenses through its fully owned subsidiary in Tanzania. There are 5 prospecting license blocks. Again, it's in the Lake Victoria Goldfield area, and 4 of them are in the Zega Greenstone Belt, which is again a world-class gold province. So DGML commenced exploration work. I'm happy to say that a few months back, we have started our exploration in some of the priority blocks. Surface geochemical sampling is completed, and we have also acquired the aeromagnetic data, which shows anomalous areas, and we're planning to carry out ground geophysical surveys, follow up with the RAB drilling program. In fact, Peshwa is the one who is heading this project. It so happened when I went to Tanzania last time, I could visit these areas, and we are having a larger exploration program. These areas look very interesting, particularly one is the location of the projects which are close to Gaita mine, and also the surface expression of these areas is similar to what I have seen the mineable gold deposit in Imvelu and Imveru. So there is a potential here. Obviously, in Tanzania, it is a concealed mineralized deposits. They are not very well exposed on the surface as it is generally seen in India. So it needs different exploration strategy, and we are geared up to do that as well. So in the next 1 year, probably we will do significant exploration on these project areas. Hopefully, we will get to some potential targets which can be developed into the mines at a later date. That's the update on the Tanzanian licenses. Next one, please. And so that is as far as our core business of developing the mines and exploring the areas. The other important aspect in the last 1 year for Deccan Gold Mines is the consultancy. If you remember, first time when we met in 2021, I have been talking about getting the exploration consultancy these contracts because we have technical team here and we have reach to go to different parts of the world and start working in that area, in that business. So we have successfully entered into consultancy business. I am very happy to say that one because it gives exposure to our technical team and also gives us an opportunity to look at other assets outside India. And if there could be a possibility that we acquire stake in these projects as well. So as a result of this, for the first time, we started earning revenues into Deccan Gold Mines. Directly, it's coming into the books of Deccan Gold Mines. Though it is small, but I think it's a significant step which gave us a boost. And going forward, probably these revenues on monthly basis could help, could cover the expenses of the company, which is really required at this stage. So currently, DGML is working on a couple of gold projects that is in Libya and Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan, I think you're all aware that it was signed up with AIR. So part of it is now being done by Deccan Gold Mines. And Libya is directly the agreement between Deccan Gold Mines and one of the Dubai-based company. And in fact, Dubai is the place where there are many Indian companies who are exploring, based out of Dubai and exploring in Middle East and Africa. So we are discussing with some other potential clients who are based out of Dubai. And I strongly believe that this vertical is going to grow steadily and create significant value to our shareholders. To enhance the operations further, we are setting up a base in UAE, that is in one of the free trade zones. We are setting up a consultancy company, and towards that end, the paperwork is almost complete. I think in another couple of weeks, we are there setting up the full-fledged company in UAE, which would look into the opportunities elsewhere. So this is one development that which we promised and we delivered in the last year. Next one, please. The other one is participation in the auction process. And with the Amendment of Mining Act, all the assets in India, mineral assets in India, are allotted through auction process. And in the auction, there are two kinds of licenses that government is giving as on today. That is a composite license, where we take the ground and we explore and get into the mining stage. And the other one is a mining lease, where already proven resource, if it is available, government is granting it through the mining leases. And as you know, there are not many projects in India, where, particularly in the precious commodities, where the mineral resources or reserves have been identified. So most of the licenses that are coming through are the composite licenses. And DGML is participating in the auction process mainly for the precious commodities because that is our core strength, that is our core business. So DGML has decided, it's always the plan, to get to the good project. I know there are many projects even in Karnataka which have been auctioned. Our technical team's belief is those projects are not as good as what we have in Karnataka. Like if you take Ganajur or Hatti, they are the world-class projects, and the ones which have been auctioned in Karnataka are not that great. So we haven't had interest to participate in that. But there are projects in other states which personally some of us have worked in those projects. So this is one of the projects in central India. Again, it is for the precious metal commodities, and we have already lodged the bid documents. And I would like to inform you, to lodge these kind of bid documents, we have to provide the bid security, which has to be 100% backed by the cash in the bank. So that we have arranged, and we have lodged the bid document. In fact, yesterday we have lodged the bid document, and the auction is going to be held likely in October 2022. We are hopeful. Of course, this is a bidding, so we have to participate in the bid. And in this bidding, generally what happens is you have to announce how much additional royalty that you are going to pay to the government. And we have worked out the numbers. So we will be participating in the bid. Hopefully we'll get it. If we get it, this is 100% owned by DGML. I think that's another significant development in this year. And DGML will continue to pursue such opportunities in India because that is the only way we are going to get the assets in India. But having said that, the assets that we already have or which are in the ports, we are going to continue with our fight to secure the rights on those assets. Next one, please. So coming to the other subject, that is the Ganajur and Hatti licenses, which are always close to the hearts of our shareholders. You all know, I mean, we're always putting those things in the BSC as BSC updates. So we have a writ petition filed in 2021, which is currently in front of Honorable High Court of Karnataka. In the meantime, central government has filed a transfer petition seeking transfer of all such writ petitions. In the several high courts in India, there are writ petitions filed against the amendments and filed against the very similar cases, actually. So what central government has done, it has filed a transfer petition seeking transfer of all such writ petitions filed before various high courts to the Honorable Supreme Court. And also they made DESPL, which is our subsidiary and which is fighting for this Ganajur and Hatti licenses, party to that transfer petition. In the meantime, what happened on the 27th of May, a very favorable judgment was passed by Honorable High Court of Karnataka in the Indocell case. I think many of you are again aware of it, a case which is not exactly same but very similar to the Ganajur mining lease. So what we have done subsequently, we filed another amendment application to the original writ petition during June 2022, incorporating the salient features of the Indocell judgment. On the 5th of September, the transfer petition which central government has lodged in Supreme Court, it was dismissed by the Supreme Court, and Honorable Supreme Court has dismissed it. So now all the cases are back to High Court of High Court of Karnataka. So the Ganajur writ petition will be heard before Honorable High Court of Karnataka. We definitely think this is a very positive development because there are 2-3 high courts. One is in Assam and also Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh. They have given favorable judgments on cases very similar to us. So if different high courts in the country starts giving judgments on those lines, probably there is a chance for us to eventually lay our hands on Ganajur and Hatti projects, which we strongly believe rightfully they're ours. And we have spent a lot of time and energy, and we should get it. And we'll continue to fight for the rights on the Ganajur and Hatti licenses. And whenever there are developments, obviously, we'll notify to the shareholders. Next one, please. So to sum it up, if I have to put myself and say what is the report card for the last year since I took over, this is how it looks like. Acquisition of stake in Geo-Mysore. I think I'm not successful. We have been trying, not successful so far. But I assure you again, we are going to do it. It's our commitment, and we'll do it quicker than what you could probably anticipate. So that is on the acquisition of stake. The second one is on the consultancy projects. Yes, we have started, and it is definitely going to grow big in the next 2-3 years. Once we set up business in Dubai, I am confident that many projects will come to us, and Deccan's name will be known across the Middle East and Africa, and that is where we have the best opportunity. And acquisition of overseas projects, yes, it's a long, lengthy process, but after going through several projects of small, big, medium size, I think we have narrowed down to a couple of projects. We are on the track to get these projects. So I think we have progressed significantly well on those things. And participating in the auction, yes, again, we have now participated in the auction. Actually, we have put our bids on the table. So on these 3 fronts, I think we made progress. So that's positive. And as far as the Ganajur license, it always remains a confusion and question mark. It is not in our hands, obviously. We are fighting for our rights. So this is how probably it looks like in the next year. Hopefully there are all greens and thumbs up, but it takes effort, and I assure you we are on the track of doing it, and we are committed to do it. Next one. And this is how I look at DGML in 2023. It will definitely acquire the stake in Geo-Mysore and become a gold producer at least by the end of 2023. And we would acquire overseas projects which are close to the production. I always reiterate that point, that we need to look at advanced stage projects and bring it into the Deccan so that we can build a multi-asset company operating in different jurisdictions. That is the vision that we have, and we will, I think, will make significant steps by the end of this year. And this also will increase our portfolio in India through the participation in auctions wherever it is possible and wherever there are good assets that are available to us. And of course, the consultancy, which is going to grow with a dedicated team. That is how I see it. These are the 5-6 points which we plan to deliver. And next year, when we meet again, probably there are green thumbs up marks in all these things. Next one, please. So this is the vision for us in the next 2023. This is how DGML would look like. We have multiple projects, multiple options, and there are Deccan will have all these things under its belt. And by the end of 2023, I see most of the projects are in fairly advanced stage. The Janagiri Gold project starts a commercial production of gold. So Deccan will become a significant player across number of projects. That is how I see it, and we strive for this. Next one. To achieve this goal, obviously we need funding. And last 1 year, I mean, there are many people who have asked, many shareholders who have asked why you have not come to the shareholders. I mean, you could have done a rights issue, you could have done many things to bring the money. But as a management, we feel that unless we clearly know where the money has to be invested, till that point of time, we don't want to approach the shareholders and get large chunks of money. So that is what we have been waiting for. And I think now, so in the last 1 year, to cover part of our operating expenses, we have taken about 3 crore loan from one of the friendly parties or associates, and with which we have started the exploration work in Tanzania, and we also participated in the auction process, and other expenses in the company are met with this loan. Further, DGML will continue to receive some money through the consultancy work, which also added which can partially meet our expenses. But now DGML would require funds once firm commitments, agreements are made on the Indian and overseas projects, e.g. Janagiri, Kalavala, Rimveli, any of these projects. So as I said, we will get into the firm commitments, agreements within the space of next couple of months. That is when I think we will come to the market to raise funds. And again, this is our vision that we need to raise about 250 crores in the next 1 year if all these projects have come to fruition. And it will be done in 2 tranches. The first tranche could be a small rights issue, which will be followed up with FPO. This is what the thought process that we have, and most of the money that is raised this time will be used for a specific either Indian or overseas projects. So very soon, within a month or couple of months again, we'll come to the market once we get the strong commitments and agreements with these projects. Now, as I mentioned above, we'll come to the market and seek the funding. So sum and substance, this is what I wanted to say. And we are here. It is a difficult year again. It is not very easy situation. But we are finding our way. There are hurdles, but we are strongly committed. And you can see that the team that we have, even though it's not, I mean, salaries are paid, sometimes, many a time it's not paid. So they are committed to take it forward. And we are always available if you have any comments or suggestions. And again, I want to thank some of the shareholders who are always coming forward to give their suggestions. Sometimes, yes, we might not have taken their advice or suggestions, but it is not for any other reason. But we are operating, we know the day-to-day problems in the company. So we are here to deliver, and we are very sure next year it will be a much better scenario. When if I take last 2-3 years, when I took over, it looked like we don't have any project, we do not know where we are going. But now we have at least 2-3 branches clearly developed. And now from here onwards, I strongly believe we'll go into a kind of sustainable growth in 2023 and in the 2024. So thank you very much for all of you to attend this annual general body meeting, and we are open for the questions and suggestions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanuman. And it's quite nice to see that, the promises what we delivered last year, I well remember that we will start striking a balance, we'll start striking a revenue for the company. And the foremost thing being the consultancy services. I can definitely assure the shareholders that even this year, current year, you might have seen the last quarterly results that there is a revenue which is happening in consultancy, and that vertical also will be focused along with the other key projects which is currently discussed by the management. I can continue to assure you that all shareholders' interest will be the foremost in all decisions we take in the board meeting, and I'm sure that we are in the growth path in the coming years. Thank you, Hanuman. Now, we will open the floor for taking questions from shareholders. Before that, I request the company secretary to provide some brief points to the shareholders in the matter.
Thank you for taking the time and joining our 30th AGM today. So before we go live with the Q&A session, there are some points to be noted for your convenience. Kindly turn on your video when you are projected on the broadcast screen. Kindly unmute yourself and proceed to ask the questions. Please mention your name and the location and your folio number for DPID from where you are and the location from where you are joining. Once you have asked your question, you can log off and continue to watch the proceedings. So we request each shareholder to be brief while asking their questions and maybe restrict it around 2 to 3 minutes. That's our request to avoid repetition and enable smooth flow of questions. So the board and the management will respond after all the questions have been taken. So now, can I call out the list of speakers? First is Vasudha Dakwe. So I request the moderator to.
Sir, please note none of the speaker shareholders are present in the meet for now. So can we move ahead?
Yeah, we can move ahead. The first one is Vasudha Dakwe to be called.
Sir, she is not present in the panel right now.
Okay, fine. So next one will be Lekha Shah.
Even she is not present.
Okay, fine. Then Mr. Devendra Gupta, 4 folios he has given.
Mr. Devendra is also not present in the meet for now.
So next, Mr. Avinash Mule, the last one.
So Mr. Avinash is also not there in the panel.
Okay, then so. No, they are not asking. No? So then I don't think we have any questions. So now I over to the chairman. So chairman, we are always open to answering queries.
I think we have opened the session for the Q&A. I believe that the speakers have requested are not being present in the meeting. Note that we are always happy to answer all the questions that you may still have, and we welcome you to email your queries to us, and we shall respond promptly as always. With this, the 38th annual general meeting comes to an end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much everyone for joining in.